Everyone can agree on one thing about Brand New Day. The ending felt a little too quiet, a little too small. But quiet doesn't mean nothing, because buried in that final scene is a setup that's about to change everything we thought we knew about the next phase of the MCU. The movie closes with three words on screen: Spider-Man will return. Simple enough, right? Except, which Spider-Man? Returning from where? And returning to what? Because if you actually pay attention to what happens in the seconds before that text appears, you'll realize this isn't a throwaway line, it's a clue. And once you decode it, the whole thing gets a lot more interesting. If this kind of deep dive breakdown is your thing, hit subscribe now, because we're about to go frame by frame. The Ned Leeds connection: to understand this ending, you have to understand Ned Leeds. In Brand New Day, Ned's memories of his best friend are gone, wiped, fragmented, scattered across years of his life. But here's the thing. Even without the memories, the feeling never left him. Every unexplained gap in his life, a strange trip, a weird moment at school, something in Europe he can't quite place, all of it circles back to one constant presence he can't name but can't shake either. Call it love, call it obsession, call it the universe refusing to let go of a bond that mattered. Whatever you call it, Ned becomes consumed by the need to find answers, and he builds something to do it. The Spidey Tracker: Ned engineers a piece of tech inside the film called the Spidey Tracker, and this isn't some throwaway gadget. It's established as a legitimately well-known piece of surveillance tech in-universe, the kind of tool serious operators like the Punisher have used before. The movie never fully explains the science behind how it works. What it does make clear is the purpose. Ned built it to map every moment Spider-Man has shown up in New York City. Because deep down, Ned isn't just curious. He needs to know who Spider-Man really is, and why his own life, his friendships, his school years, his trip across Europe, all seem to trace back to the same protector over and over again. That's the whole emotional engine of this post-credits scene, not spectacle, obsession born from love. Breaking down the final seconds, here's where it gets interesting. In the post-credits scene, we cut to Ned's tracker interface, a full UI live and running. It's already locked onto a Spider-Man's location, but the readout says location unknown. The map shows Queens, that's the visual anchor, but the audio keeps repeating location unknown, a contradiction that's clearly intentional. And then the camera does something unusual. It starts zooming out, not into the city, out of Earth, into space. There's a glitch, quick, disorienting, and suddenly we're not looking at a map of New York anymore. We're somewhere else entirely, a different reality, a different universe. Then Ned's voice comes back one more time, and this time the tracker says something different. Location found. The device starts beeping rapidly, and that's it. Cut to black, and the words appear: Spider-Man will return. If you're catching all these connections with me, drop a comment. I want to know your read on this before I give you mine. There's one more detail worth sitting with before we move on. The choice to use sound as the reveal instead of a visual. We never actually see a face, a suit, or a city skyline in that final universe. All we get is a voice saying two words. That's a deliberate restraint from the filmmakers, because the second they show you an actual image, the mystery is solved and the internet moves on in 5 minutes. By withholding the visual and giving you only audio, they buy themselves months of theorizing, debate, and, let's be honest, exactly the kind of video you're watching right now. Why this isn't what you think. If you're a casual fan, your first assumption is probably that this is just teasing another Tom Holland movie or maybe a Spider-Man cameo in the next Avengers film. Reasonable guess. But here's the twist. The entire sequence is built around the tracker locking onto a location that isn't Earth 616. It isn't tracking the Spider-Man we've been following through this